guys, Sean Rizzo here at Kraken Motorsports. Today we're going to be talking about some EVOs. A little different for us. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Sean Rizzo with Kraken Motorsports here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about EVOs and our EVO engine program. As you know, we partner with P2P Racing, and we have worked together in conjunction with them to develop our engine programs for both the Subarus and the EVOs and the RBs and the Hondas and everything else that we're working on. We've got an SR20 behind me that we're going to be building up. Our 2JZ platform. So we've been doing a lot with engines, and we've been helping P2P in testing and development of these motors for the past 4 years now. The 4B11 platform that we've just introduced in Mike's drag car. Some of you guys were at Street Car Takeover and saw us running Mike's car, doing some testing on it, some shakedown laps. So there's been a lot of interest in the 4B11 program now that that car is out. We've got another big car that's very similar to Mike's build, but more of a street car. So Rome is gonna be campaigning that car for us. And then of course we've got my wife's EVO, which is not a 4B11, but it is a P2P motor, and it's a 4G63. So we're covering all of the EVO platforms equally. First thing that I want to do is talk a little bit about the 4B11. So I've got our test block, or our demo block here. This is basically a trash block that we did I say we, like, you know, I'm doing this.
It's a team effort. That
Ryan converted over to closed deck so that we have a block that we can take out to shows and stuff and kind of show people. So it's a demo block. So yes, I know the cylinder's messed up. No, we will not be running this block or using it at any point for anything other than pointing at it and going, ooh, right? So just a couple of quick things about the closed deck on this block that I want to talk about. First and foremost, one of the things that makes this different from a lot of blocks on the market, this closed deck is all one solid piece. A lot of closed decks are using 3 or 4 or 6 different pieces and pressing them in there and then kind of making this out of multiple pieces. What Ryan has done is he's created a single piece insert and then pressed that in, or put that entire insert into the block as one piece. What this does is it makes this thing incredibly, incredibly strong. There are no failure points to be had in between these cylinders. This goes about 3/4 of an inch down into the deck of the block. So that's about 1/4 of an inch more than most of the ones that I've seen. It is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly strong, and you never have to worry about the problems that you can run into on these blocks when sleeving them. Other things that are really important, the hone that's used for all of our motors, not just the Subaru or the Mitsubishis, but the Subarus, the Nissans, everything we do. The hone is CNC controlled, and we use a diamond cutting head, so we can get the perfect crosshatch pattern on these things, depending on the AR, if you will, depending on what pistons we're running, what piston rings, what the motor's for, we can get exactly the crosshatch pattern that we're looking for. One of the other things with this block is all of the blocks that you get from us are going to be balanced and blueprinted to the strictest and tightest tolerances that, again, I've ever worked with. Ryan is fastidious when it comes to clearances in these motors. He has come down on me multiple times because we've had motors fail because we didn't pay attention to something that was so finite in my mind, but the way that he builds these motors, it was really, really important that we check something or do something or did something a very specific way. And we've had, not failures of the motors, but we've had issues where we've had to go back in and fix things because of that. So the tolerances in these things are really, really, really close. The blueprinting is incredibly accurate, very specific. Ryan is a perfectionist when it comes to that. And then lastly, one of the things with closed deck blocks is a lot of people think that they're going to overheat, right? Well, when you close deck the block, you're kind of blocking off the coolant passages and making it really hard for coolant to flow through this thing. That's not the case. If you notice on this particular closed deck, Ryan has cut a channel all the way around this thing. So you can use any head gasket you want on this motor. It will accept any head gasket, and it's going to flow correctly through that head gasket. Each head gasket has its own kind of water passages in the head gasket, and they can be different depending on what you're doing and the type of head gasket and the head and all these different things. You can use any head gasket that you want on this, and because this channel is here, you're going to get full coolant flow across the top of this deck and into the head, no matter what head gasket is on here. Right? The head gaskets that we're using in these big motors is a proprietary head gasket that we've developed over a really, really, really long time. We started the development of this head gasket with a previous engineer that we worked with for almost 2 decades, and it's a game-changing kind of thing. The solid copper head gasket, the proprietary material of the sealing rings themselves. Ryan cuts the top of the block for those. This block can be cut for either our proprietary head gaskets, which we have to install, or it can be cut for the Athena style head gaskets and rings as well. We can do either one, kind of depending on your preferences. So that's just a couple of little things about these blocks and what we're doing with them. We'll do a video later on with Ryan, and he's going to go into much more in-depth stuff about the blocks, the engines, what we're doing with them, what's coming. We have some really big things engine-wise over the horizon. Probably in the next 6 to 8 months, we'll be making some announcements on what we're doing with those. But I'd like to get Ryan in front of the camera and get him talking. If you've seen any of his interviews or any of his stuff online, once you get him going, you get a lot of really good information out of him. So we'll make that happen. I'm not the technical guy when it comes to building motors. I don't want to get into too much, but just a little couple of touch points for you guys to have some information about these things. So same thing with the 4G63. We built a 4G63 for my wife's EVO 5. Same thing. We can do all of the same things that we're doing in this motor in the 4G63. It's an iron block. It doesn't need closed decking, but in terms of the tolerances, in terms of the blueprinting, in terms of the machining, the exacting standards are just as high for those older motors as they are for these. It's not like the newer motors, the more complicated motors, the more expensive motors get all this stuff, and then, the old iron block, 4G63s and the old iron block VGs, and we just throw those together. No, everything is at that level here. That motor's running phenomenally. It's butter smooth. That car drives amazing. So anything that you have in terms of EVOs, in terms of engines, in terms of machining that you need help with, please reach out to us. I know a lot of people know us as a Subaru shop. We're not. We are a Subaru shop. We do a lot of Subarus, don't misunderstand. We're not just a Subaru shop. I've been working on JDM cars for 30 years. I have had a passion for Nissans and Mitsubishis for as long as I've had a passion for Subarus. So I don't want people to think that we're a one-trick pony. We're going to go out and prove that we can build fast EVOs, that we can build fast RBs, that we can build fast 2Js. Over the next year or so, we're going to be having some projects coming out that are going to surprise you. You're going to be like, whoa, Kraken built that. Wow, that's different for them. And that's kind of what I want. I want to move into that. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get to some videos of the racing this past week. I want to send a huge shout out to Mike Johnston. Man, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for trusting us with your car, with your vision, with your legacy. I want to send a huge shout out to Rome Martinez. Same thing, man. Thank you for trusting us with your car and your vision and your money and everything else. I want to send a huge shout out to Trey, man behind the camera, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I let off the gas instead of the button, but he took off. Yeah. Like they would let us go, and he was like, "Yo!" And I was like, "Golly!" I rolled it out faster that time. Yeah. The car's fast on the back end though. It's fast. I actually went slower that time. I went on 131, but my ET was faster. Like another half second faster. Yeah, reaction's just killing me. I'm 2 seconds behind. Yeah, like each thing, that car, I was just barely slower than him. Like if you look at the reaction. Yeah, it's all in the reaction. No, it hit. I stayed on it too long. I didn't know what to expect out of it, and all of a sudden it just bop, 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 and I was like, oh! No, it hit. Okay. Get back. It's moving.
129. Leaving that late, dude. This car's crazy.
It was scooting. Yeah. The shifts felt great. Like I was just bop, bop, bop.